LOL. Hey Puzzle Buddies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a puzzle from a brand I've never tried before. I'm really excited to see what the hype's all about, and I think you guys are excited to see it too, so let me show you. This is a SMARD art puzzle. This one is called Ski Later. It is 500 pieces. As soon as I saw this one, I fell in love. I thought she looked so pretty. I thought she looked so cool. I'm really excited to give it a try. But if you're familiar with SMARD, you know that their puzzle drops are kind of hard to get. And so I was very lucky that I got this puzzle. But not only did I get this one, I also got this one, Philippians 4:7, and I even have one more. But this one I'm going to give to one of you guys. So make sure you watch the video because somewhere in this video, I'm going to tell you how you could win that puzzle. As beautiful as she is, I am a little bit nervous about her shirt because that pattern, I feel like either it's going to be really easy to put together or it's going to be really hard. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I think that the rest of the puzzle will be pretty easy to put together, pretty straightforward. So that's what I'm hoping for. Y'all know that the last puzzle that I tried from a hyped up brand didn't quite go so well for me. So I'm really hoping that this will be better. Little one is asleep. I have like an hour. So we're going to see how much we can get done until he wakes up. So far, so good when it comes to the puzzle. It came wrapped in plastic, and then I struggled to get the lid off the box, but neither here nor there. The pieces come like a regular little plastic bag, and it comes with a resealable cloth bag, which is really nice, and then a really good size poster of the image. The only thing that I'm a little nervous about is that I see that the pieces have that white paper backing, and y'all know how that went for me last time. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still going to be optimistic. For this one, I'm pulling out the pieces and doing a full flip and laying everything out so I can see. I'm not going to do any real sorting. I really just want to do one texture at a time and just let the puzzle build upon itself. Once I did my flip and I had all the pieces laid out in that pile, I can't even lie, they looked so pretty all together. All those pinks and browns and oranges, it was just so satisfying to see them all sitting there. I did notice that the pieces were a bit glossy, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be like a bad glossy or the okay glossy, because sometimes the pieces are glossy and you can't even see what you're working on, and sometimes they're glossy, but they're okay. So I was a little bit also nervous about whether that would be an issue. I started off with the ski mask. I was pulling out those pastel-y rainbow pieces as I could find them. I did get stuck for a hot second, but then I figured it out. And I think that part of the issue was that I had two pieces in the wrong spot. I wouldn't even call it a false fit. I literally just had them in the wrong place because once I looked at it, it was very much wrong. I don't even know why I put them there to begin with. And then after I got most of the ski mask done, at least all the pieces that I could find at the time, I moved on to the popsicle and I pulled out all these yellows and oranges and pinks as much as I could find them. The yellows went together honestly really easily, pretty quick. And then I tried to work on the oranges and I realized I only had like two of the orange pieces. And so I went looking for them again, but I was finding that they were blending in with the orange pieces of the dress or the shirt. So I did have to take a closer look and see if I could find them. I think I got most of them. And then I did the pink, which also leads a bit into her mouth. And that is how much I've gotten done so far. Guys, we are back and ready to puzzle. When I last left you, I was about to get up and get ready to put everything away because little one was about to wake up from his nap. And one thing about that boy, if he wakes up from his nap and he gets off that potty and he doesn't have a snack ready for him, there will be hell to pay. So I had to finish this and get up and get everything else together. So I knew I was on a time crunch, but I found myself sitting back down and doing a bit more of the puzzle. I ended up pulling some of the gray and black pieces that are her hair that are on the background, mostly on the left side of the puzzle. And I just wanted to keep going. And that's a really nice feeling when you're working on a puzzle and you're like, I'll just do one more piece. Then you're like, maybe I'll put one more piece in. That I feel like is a good sign that you're having a pretty good experience overall. I ended up going ahead and finishing up the hair on the left side. It wasn't hard per se, but I think because the pieces of hair are curly and they more or less go every direction on the piece, it was kind of hard to pinpoint what was going where. And so I did have to spend a little bit of time just looking at it and trying to figure out which little piece lines up with which little bit of black of hair. But the background being not all one solid color definitely helped because that would help to narrow things down. If you're looking for a light gray piece or a darker gray piece, that would definitely help figure out which of the little bits of hair you're looking for. After I finished that up, I went ahead and moved over to the right side of the puzzle, which to me is the top of the puzzle because I'm working on the sideways. And I was working on the hair over there. I went ahead and pulled out a tray. So on the tray, I just put all the pieces that were more or less just solid black And then also I was continuing to pull out the pieces that had hair strands on them. And I was working on that. So the right side definitely went a little bit smoother, especially once I started to get the groove of how the pieces were fitting together. I think that side went a lot better. And then, of course, I had a few straggler pieces, so I went looking for them, found most of them, and I got the hair pretty much completely done. And honestly, it wasn't too bad. Next, I went ahead and pulled out the lighter brown pieces that had a lot of stuff going on, because those I knew had to go to the hand for the most part. So I started working on that, and I got real confused real fast. I was able to pull out the ring on her finger, and that was what I was trying to base everything off of. But I couldn't find the pieces that I was looking for to connect to the ring, and then I was getting lost, and I was working on some other bits. But I think all of the lines going in different directions, and I don't know, it just wasn't quite working out for me. I had a few little islands floating around with each other. Then finally they started to connect. And after a minute, I had most of the hand together. There was definitely some stuff missing, but enough of it was there that I felt like I could move on. So then I pulled out the rest of the browns that were either at this point her face or her hand. Then in the midst of me pulling pieces, I kind of realized that the top half that I had been working on and the bottom half could connect. So I connected those two, which felt really good. So I have one solid puzzle for the most part. I did have a floating edge on the right side of the puzzle. That is the brown of her other arm. So that part is still floating, but for the most part, the rest of the puzzle is all one large piece. So I'm happy. But as I was moving into working on her face, the glare was starting to become an issue just because of where my lights are situated and the fact that I'm having to reach a bit further across the table. It was starting to get hard to see. And because there's such a slight difference in the different browns of her face, you can definitely see the difference, but when there's a glare on the pieces, it made it a bit harder. And so I feel like I spent more time on her face than I really needed to, but eventually I got her done. And what I thought was really interesting as I was working is that I was just so focused on getting the brown pieces done that I missed out on the part that I was looking forward to. Like as I was pulling out the pieces and preparing to do her face, I was really looking forward to doing her lips. If you follow me on TikTok, I have a thing with doing people's faces in puzzles and diamond paintings. We talked about it anyways. And so in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to doing her lips, but I'm just working and working. I wasn't really paying attention. And then all of a sudden I take a step back and I realized I had already done her lips probably minutes ago at this point. I feel like that's how we are in life sometimes. You're so busy just trying to get this thing done that you forget and or miss out. You're just doing it. You don't even realize that you've done the thing that you really wanted to do, that you accomplished something that you really wanted to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a mood, but I think that that is all I have the energy for tonight. All that's left is the background and then the shirt. I think the background will go together fairly quickly. The shirt, I don't know, maybe it won't be so bad. I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish this up. Let me tell you how you can win your copy of Shades of Gold from SMARD. Like I was telling you all, I was on the TikTok live of SMARD Art, and something that they do every once in a while is that they host a giveaway within their live stream. So I was in the live stream and I won the giveaway, and that is how I ended up with this. It's Shades of Gold. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's still sealed, brand new. Have not opened it, and I want to give it to one of you guys. I know you don't really typically celebrate 800 subscribers, but I really, really appreciate every single one of you for being here, and I really want to share this with someone. So this is how you can win this puzzle. All you have to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel, this one, Puzzles with Bree. Make sure that your subscriptions are public so that way I can see that you are subscribed. Since you'll be winning this Shades of Gold puzzle, I want you to comment down below your favorite color. That's all. You can comment whatever else you want, but just let me know what your favorite color is. And then in both the description box and in the pinned comment on this video, I will have a link to a Google form. And all you have to do on that is enter your name, your email, and your YouTube handle, so that way I can check if you win to make sure that you're subscribed. Ask you a couple questions, but it's mostly just to check off that you did all the other things I asked you for, and then you submit it, and that's how you enter the giveaway. Now, this giveaway is not sponsored, so the only other criteria is that you are in the continental United States. My apologies, but shipping is expensive. Of course, this giveaway is not affiliated with YouTube, nor is it affiliated with SMARD. I won this puzzle, and rather than hold on to it, I wanted to share it with you guys. So this has nothing to do with either of them. This is just something that's coming directly from me. And the emails I will only be using to contact you if you win the puzzle. I will not be signing you up for any mailing lists or anything else. So again, all you have to do is be subscribed, make sure that I can see that you're subscribed, comment your favorite color, and then fill out that Google form. This video is going up on Sunday, July 26th. The giveaway will run through that Friday, the 31st of July, and I will pick a winner on Saturday, August 1st. and then the winner will be announced in August 2nd, the next Sunday's video. I'll email you myself from my puzzleswithbree@gmail.com email address. I won't email you from any other account, and also I will not ask you for money or anything, so listen, I just want to send you this puzzle. And yeah, that's it. Now back to this puzzle. It's the next day and all that's left is the gray and the shirt. And so I started with the gray because I figured that would be much easier. I had a tray for the edges and then a tray for the inside pieces. I started off with the edges and that went together pretty quick. After that was just the inside bits of the gray background. And that also wasn't hard because you have the different lines of the different shades of gray. And so I mostly started with the white pieces because they stood out most. And then the background's done. And then all that was left was all that orange, purple, and brown, and yellow. I had tried to start off by doing the shadow lines around her scarf, around her neck. And that was going okay at first, but somewhere in there, I was not able to line up the lines. I was getting confused. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I kept trying that for a little minute. And then eventually I gave up. I decided to move on and do all of the pink pieces. I figured if I pulled out one single color, then I could just build that color and then work from there. So I decided to go with the pink/purple. I pulled out all those pieces and I put those together. Honestly, it wasn't so bad, especially just kind of focusing on the pink and using the other colors as just background information to help guide me as to what belongs where. The reason I said I was lucky to have this puzzle is because SMARD art puzzles, they sell out. They release their puzzles in drops. So drop 9, I think, just happened recently. And so they had a whole list of images that they were releasing in various piece counts. But I think for the most part, once they sell out, they're kind of gone. And so if you didn't catch it when it dropped, you might be out of luck. However, I found out just randomly one day that they go live, and on their TikTok, they auction off puzzles. They will have puzzles that are otherwise listed as out of stock on their site, but maybe they have just a few of them in the warehouse, and so they'll auction them off on their live streams. So if there's one that you missed out on, or even there are some puzzles that are only sold in a bundle, and if you don't want the whole bundle, you just want one puzzle, you can see if they will auction it off, and then it's between you and whoever else is in live stream to see who can get the puzzle. And I really like that because they start their bids at $22, I believe, and typically their puzzles are sold online for $30, $35, if not a little bit more. And so not only can you get the puzzle that you maybe missed out on or is out of stock, but also you can get it possibly at a much lower price. So it's honestly a pretty good deal. If you're willing to wait for them to go live, you can hop on and see what you can find. So I had just orange, brown, yellow. And I wasn't going to sit here for an hour just looking at the pieces. I just went ahead and shape sorted. I had all my pieces off to the side. I shape sorted, and that made things go so much easier. Then after that, I kind of focused on the more brown pieces. I pulled those out, got them in place for the most part. And then it was just the orange and yellow. I just kind of worked from there. And before I knew it, I was all done. We are all done with this puzzle. And I can't lie, I really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to like it, but I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. I was really enjoying myself working on the puzzle, but every time I took a step back and just looked at the image, it's stunning, you guys. It really is pretty. My only real con, honestly, is the glare on the pieces. Like I mentioned, they are glossy, and at first it wasn't bad, but at some point it did become a little bit hard to see the pieces as I was working just because of the lights and everything and the pieces. But I think that's really my only negative of this whole experience. I never really had any false fits. When I did put a piece maybe in the wrong spot, it kind of popped right out. It wasn't really a big deal. The cut of the pieces is pretty unique. There really isn't much room for a false fit to begin with. Y'all know I like a good chunky little piece, and these are good and chunky, and it was good. While I was getting ready to sit down and speak with you all, I realized that this puzzle actually does fit vertically on my table, so I could have had it the right way the whole time. Oh well. And also the hold on this is pretty fantastic. Oh, hold on. I gotta hold it so you can actually see it. LOL. Okay, I've literally picked this puzzle. I've literally picked this puzzle like 8 times because I was filming TikToks, and on the time that I'm filming it for YouTube, it falls apart a little bit. I lost 3 pieces, but I promise you before this, I literally was picking this puzzle up because I kept messing up my video. Anyways, moving on. I had a great time putting this puzzle together. I was planning on just boxing it up and taking it to the puzzle swap, or maybe selling it. I was considering it, but honestly, it's so pretty. I kind of want to keep it. I almost want to rebox it so I can do it again later. I want to tape it up so I can keep it and maybe hang it up. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think I should do. Having such a great time with this puzzle makes me really excited for whenever I get a chance to do this one. This is the one that I'm going to keep and probably hang up on my wall or something. This one is Philippines 4-7. And then make sure that you follow all the rules so that way you can win this one yourself. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you may have skipped ahead to the end of the video to see about the giveaway, but it's hidden somewhere in the video, so you got to go back and find out how you can win this. Thank you all again so much for all of your support, for being subscribed, for commenting, all the things. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that because we're always doing fun things over here. Make sure that you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and I will see you in my next video.